Hi, everyone, and welcome to Natures of Divinity. It's taken me a while to get this going due to where I'm living, actually, like way out in the woods, and there's been huge storms and no bandwidth. And it's June, so come on. But finally made it, and we're live here. I say we, I've got Glenn next to me, and you've probably seen his name and his little icon come up because he does my technical administration and he's going to read any questions that come through. I'm hoping. I'm not seeing. Oh, there they are. I don't know how to do this really yet, so bear with me. I started this about 25 years ago, The Natures of Divinity, with the channeling from Hathor Ninefold One, or Hathor, and the first little video basically covered who and what she is as a channel. And now I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself and what brought me to where I'm at. Because I was such a stranger in a strange land being born here. And I went through some really harrowing experiences at a young age. I died during surgery twice and came back. I didn't know my family. And I've known I was walking for a long time. Then at 12, I drowned. And different pieces kept showing up, and I became more and more aware of how really messed up this world is and how much I really didn't fit. I saw colors around people. I knew what they were feeling when they were lying. I saw strange patterns and shapes around them. I've been talking to the dead since I was 7. I did get rid of that. The empathy was horrendous and really, really hard to understand what my feelings were and what other people's were. And I didn't even know I had empathy like that until I was in my early to mid 20s and understanding where it came from. But my journey has always been actually with Egypt, with ancient Egypt. I taught myself how to read really young. The children's Bible was where I went. And I'm like, oh, don't read the Old Testament from the church. When I got old enough to where I was in Bible study classes, and I went from church to church and couldn't find the right church. And it's like, well, the Old Testament, that's mainly where Egypt is, except that's where I'm married to Jesus, for the first 12 years of his life. And I was very aware that some people had beautiful and brilliant colors around them and other people did not. And the people with the beautiful and brilliant colors around them, they were fewer and further between for sure. But I felt like I knew those people. And I know right now that I'm addressing people with beautiful and brilliant colors around them. I know that you're awake. I know that you've struggled. And the last 25 years, I've been restructuring, recreating, understanding what the Blue Nile mysteries were. And I now know that it is a very, very ancient structure that was put in Egypt after the cataclysm. It's a 4D structure that still exists. It has a great amount of energy from all of those who are dedicated to as above, so below, and who created a world that was actually connected to the higher dimensions and not the false loops that have been created in karma. Just like, do you want bad karma? Do you want good karma? I don't want any karma at all. I want to grow. I want to expand. And I want to heal. And I have found that with this. I've had to live almost every step of it. And I have been greatly supported in this by actually a fairly large group of people who came in early, who have had the activations. I did get the 90 activations from Barbara Handclough, and I am an activator. I have a great deal of certifications. I have a lot of education, but I came to that because of the search and because of the journey. And the activations just made things so much faster, so much simpler. And it's actually the correct construct. It opens up in each person individually the way that person is meant to open. And it awakens the actual divine natures that have been translated as gods from ancient Egypt. In dynastic Egypt, that's basically what their function was, what they had become. But in kingdom times and in the earlier times, in the times of Tamara and Kemet, they were the functions of divinity that moved through each being. Each person out there has a face of Hathor, which is a face with 2 eyes, 2 ears, a mouth, throat, the crown. It's the place where you interweave, where your perception is from birth, before you can walk, before you can talk. That is that face. And that is where divinity intersects into physical manifestation. And understanding now, I do channel Hathor. She will be coming in on Wednesday because she gave me a little tag thing that I have to say, and then she'll come through. But she's really intensely here right now. And she's like, oh, my children are out there, my children. The cataclysm disconnected us, our world, from the sun. It took us 23.5 degrees off. The umbilicus is no longer connected, and we are connected into a false, fourth dimensional constructed reality that throws us back in over and over again, that turns what's supposed to be our third eye back into their constructs. And we've been built for it for generations, constructed this way for thousands of years. But the old construct and the old grounding into the iron core crystal, it's there. And it's yours. Your Akashic records from Earth, from all these years we've spent inside the veil, they're there. And you can connect, and you can allow your divine natures to rise. And no one's going to tell you that God's on the outside, because divinity is indwelling. One of the few things that the Old Testament did have right is that you are created as gods. You're children of gods. You are creators. You've helped create this world that we're living in now. And as long as you're connected into what I call the status quo, you're going to continue to help create the reality you're living in. If you want it changed, if you want the reality you knew when you were a small child, if you want the wonder back, you've got to reconnect and allow the divine natures to come through. Very shortly, I will be putting up posts about the different Natiru, or natures, from Kemet. I will also speak of what went out into the tribes all around the world, because this was not held to Kem, but it was destroyed systematically and with great purpose. Millions of us were killed in the witch hunts. Over 9 million women and children that were recorded by the Catholic and Protestant churches. And then they came here and they killed our native brothers and sisters. They went through Africa. They sent missionaries. They enslaved and they killed our black brothers and sisters all over this planet, systematically. South America, all the tribal customs, everything that's stated. God is in nature. Divinity resides within us. We create our realities. We build our communities. We find our commonalities. It was taken. The structure existed to reconnect us. It was the structure of Pharaoh, the divine king. And that was during the age of Leo. And now we are in the age of Aquarius. It's opposite. We are inside the photon belt again. And each of us can become Pharaoh, sovereign. Each of us can walk inside the power of that column of light between the heavens and earth. Remove ourselves from the loops of heavens and hells. Those demonics, they exist. They're in 4D. But they don't have to touch you if you're not part of it. Disconnect. The lines were sealed. The lineages, they had to be sealed. The children, the generations in Europe, here, all over, that they'd be born and they would not awaken. But the seals activated, moving into the photon belt. And what our ancestors awaited is here and is now, and you're waking up. And your powers are within you. Your divinity. There's a little hot door coming. And this is a point where you get to know me a little. And I'm hoping you guys are going to talk to me, that I can know you. I'm going to stick around. I'm going to answer questions afterwards. I will tell you that I'm a Toltec sorcerer, and I have the certification. I come from 2 Reiki lineages. I have the certifications. I've done all of these classes. I finally got to work with Tom Kenyon. Awesome. Barbara Hanclow. Several times. I was there when she opened the gates of the ancestors. On the last night, the first day of the last night. I've sent connections to Don Juan Alejandro Mayas. I have connections that went into Drungal Melchizedek. I sent my representative to return to the ancestors. I'm a little too fair-skinned to live in the Grand Canyon for 14 days without turning into, a withered blister. So I had to send someone. But I've been on this. Hello, Dominique. I hope I said that right. And anyway, I've done this. I've been there. I've done that. I've read book after book, thousands of books. I got a doctorate and a PhD, and worked with this and worked with that, and religions and metaphysics. And really, you find a sentence here, a sentence there, one author, maybe another, but the only true authority on you is you. Really. And why go down the multiple paths? Everything fell into place when I was activated by Ra. I thought I was dying. I literally thought I was dying. I thought I was going to have an aneurysm. Actually, I thought I was in the middle of an aneurysm. And where am I going to put my body? Because I don't want my son to find it. Because I'm done. But I wasn't done. I was restructured. and it opened up. You guys are all being downloaded out there. And where are they going? Are they opening up? Do you understand them? Probably not. A lot of those downloads are actually changing your cells in your body. And then some people are getting sick because it's activating things and you haven't cleared and you're not allowing the growth in your life. So it's turning into growths. And it doesn't have to be that way. We think it does. We've been trained to think it does systematically. Our children, they can't handle the industrialized education system. They're indigos. They're crystals. We're in the shift. And we will end up changing the world. Maybe not in my lifetime. Maybe not in yours. Except actually we already have. And we're going to do it some more. But it might not be global for a couple hundred years. But we'll clear it. And we'll clear ourselves. And we'll reconnect. And we'll raise our voices. And we'll sing. And I'm going to check out now. I say peace, love. Except for actually it's Nefraka. Until next time.